St. Mary Netherton Daily Chronicle, Evening Edition, March 9th, 1926. Good evening, dear listeners. Edmund Pruitt addressing you as the village clock strikes 6 on this Tuesday, which has furnished our community with an afternoon of horticultural fellowship and artistic achievement. The day unfolded as Mr. Higgins anticipated, with the morning's clarity giving way during the afternoon to the high cloud drifting in from the west, the hours passing into what Mrs. Pemberton describes as the sort of Tuesday when the rooms feel altogether different by evening, as though they have remembered something of themselves they had forgotten during the darker months. Mrs. Hargrove opened her residence this afternoon for what she titled a seed-sorting tea, inviting gardeners to bring the packets of seeds they had preserved from last year's harvests. The gathering saw neighbours arriving with envelopes and small paper parcels collected throughout the autumn, each labelled in the contributor's own hand. Mrs. Hargrove arranged long tables in her parlour where the offerings could be organised by variety, and the assembled company spent the hours exchanging packets, comparing notes on germination success, and claiming specimens suited to their own plots. The event concluded with tea and seed cake, which Mrs. Hargrove considered an appropriate pairing. Residents with an interest in the photographic arts will be pleased to learn that the editors of the Regional Naturalist Quarterly have written to Mrs. Eloise Oliver requesting images for their spring publication. Mrs. Oliver has spent recent weeks perfecting a technique for capturing white snowdrops against dark soil, employing reflecting screens to lend each petal an almost luminous quality. The method, which she demonstrated to visitors at her studio this afternoon, produces images of uncommon delicacy, and the editors have expressed particular interest in featuring her work alongside an article on early woodland flowers. The tea room's warm spiced pear sponge drew steady Tuesday custom, with the afternoon's conversation interrupted briefly when a draught from the open door sent a serviette sailing clear across the room to land upon Colonel Weatherby's shoulder. The Colonel, mid-sentence regarding nesting materials, incorporated the serviette into his remarks without missing a beat, observing that some birds would find such lightweight cloth ideal for lining purposes. The table erupted in laughter, and Mrs. Hartley retrieved the wayward article with apologies the Colonel waved away as entirely unnecessary. Mrs. Barnes's leghorn hen produced its afternoon egg at 20 minutes past 2, afterward positioning herself beside the water dish, where she remained for some time, occasionally dipping her beak and tilting her head back in that deliberate manner hens have of drinking, though Mrs. Barnes suspects the bird was equally interested in watching the small ripples she created across the surface. That concludes our evening report. This is Edmund Pruitt bidding you good night from St. Mary Netherton, where Tuesday draws to a close with seeds distributed, snowdrops captured in silver and light, and the village settling into a well-aired evening.